We created the Lava Center to be a community arts center that encourages people to become involved and learn in and through the arts. That's the sort of founding statement of Local Access, which is the not-for-profit behind the Lava Center. And that has always been for us also education and humanities, sort of kind of a mix of those things.
Franklin County has truly become a notable arts destination in this region, with the center located right in the heart of Greenfield's Crossroads Cultural District. Why is a venue like this necessary for the city?
I think it's necessary because there isn't anything else quite like it. We kind of fill this niche where it's the community arts, where anyone can come and do something artistic, whether it's performing or displaying their visual art or hosting meetings and classes. Yeah, I think there just isn't anything quite like that.
Yeah, we are, we're at a crossroads physically in Greenfield, and we are really a crossroads of a lot of different art forms too. So we have spaces that focus on the visual arts. We have organizations that focus on performing arts. We have organizations that are about the spoken word and poetry. All of that goes on at the Lava Center. So it's a place for artists of all kinds to come and mingle together and kind of feed off each other's energy in a way.
This collaboration that you're speaking of, Jan, in an article with the Greenfield Recorder, you stated that you want people to know that you're not in competition with them and that you're complementing them. Why is this collaboration between the arts so vital?
One thing that comes to my mind immediately is because our resources are so limited. We don't need to fight over crumbs. We need to collect our crumbs together with a stone soup kind of model, and make a whole cake out of your crumbs, my crumbs, the other person's crumbs. We might have enough to have a dessert, And another thing is that's just not the way creativity works. It just doesn't work that way. It's an exchange of ideas. It's a free flow of ideas. And to be in competition with somebody else's ideas in a way that would suppress them or overcome them does not make any sense whatsoever.
One of your recent collaborations was with the Greenfield Farmers Market. You had the first ever art market day where customers could find local artisan vendors along with farm and food vendors. How did the community receive this event, and in what other ways do you plan to partner with local events and institutions?
Yeah, the art market day I think went really well. The weather was really hot and sticky, so people were very slow and sluggish. But the people who came were really engaging with our booth and what we were doing. So we had on display these historic postcards of Greenfield from back in the day. We got those blown up to these posters, and we placed them like lawn signs. And we placed them all around the common so people could see this exact scene of, the city hall and the church, what that looked like 100 years ago on this poster. Then we invited people to our booth on the common that day to make their own postcard. We had craft materials, construction paper, and, it was mostly kids who did it, but there were some grownups too who came and drew a postcard of their Greenfield, how they saw Greenfield, whether that was literal or figurative. We are a small space, and we are generally a very casual space. I think of us as very welcoming. People just kind of pop in and they're like, oh, what's going on? And we're like, come on in, hang out, do something. And I think people really are responding to that very casual, welcoming, inclusive space that we have. And this attitude that we have about the arts is being for everyone, is being a vital part of the community. And that, I think, is where our part of our mission as an arts incubator comes in. People do come in and they meet other artists and they talk about, oh, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. And things have emerged just as a result of people coming and hanging out and having these conversations.
As co-coordinators, what has been your favorite thing about this center, and what do you want people to know about it?
I would say my favorite thing is just to stand near the back and see the space fill with a small or large group of people who are there to enjoy anything together in community, whether it's a reading or an open mic or a musical event or a echo lecture, just to see the space bring people together with common interests, common enthusiasms, and then to listen in on the conversations.
The same as Jan's, is just watching just these different people from all walks of life who just have this shared interest in art or community. And one example that I have is one of the artists that comes into our space a lot works with natural materials like bark and hornets' nests. And I've seen him connect with other artists and just gleefully talk about his process. And then, they will go and find bark for him or find a hornet's nest for him and bring it into the space and leave it for him there. So just that collaboration between artists is so cool to me. And to see the product of that, to see people coming in and talking about, oh, I was just talking to so-and-so about this thing, or, just that word of mouth that happens, and that excitement that people get about community arts specifically, about this thing that's arts as this accessible medium. It's, anybody can do it, anybody can participate in however way that they're inspired to.